I'm not stressed out this month. I'm not stressed out at all. Was that believable? Hi everybody, it's about that time to set up my bullet journal for the month of May. I'm actually doing things a little bit differently this month. Normally I go into my power sheets and get them all managed before I set my bullet journal up so that I have an idea of what my goals and my priorities are. However, I need to get my bullet journal set up a little bit early just to get things situated for this month, but I cannot really update my goals until I get to the end of April, and it's not the end of April yet as I'm filming this. The goals are going to be coming later. Honestly, I don't need my power sheets filled out to know what I'm going to hopefully be focusing on May. Unless stuff goes super sideways, we are going to be basically preparing to move. By the time I start digging into my bullet journal this month, we will be in the middle of making a trip and hopefully getting into contract in this house and the next house and all these other things. And it's a lot, you guys. And so I am just gonna get my bullet journal set up and try and breathe through it, and I will just deal with my goals later. And that's just how we're gonna do it because it's my stuff and that's the way I wanna do it. Let's take a quick minute to go over the supplies that I am going to be using this month. I am continuing to use my plus size Bear and Fig journal in its sexy, sexy leather cover, although I am super cheating on it in my mind with my Scribbles That Matter B5 sized notebook that I bought. I have a video, you can check it out, it's linked up above, but like I'm pretty sure that's going to be my next notebook, and I can feel that every time I open up my Bear and Fig notebook it is looking at me with like sad, wounded eyes because it can tell my mind is somewhere else. But it's a notebook, why do I care that much? I will be using an assortment of fine liners, Pitt artist pens, Pigma microns, whatever size and tip strikes my fancy. I'm leaning in the Pitt artist pen direction lately. I've been Pigma microning it my like little booty off. I tend to bounce between the Pigma microns, the Pitt artist pens, the Tombow mono drawing pens. Those seem to be the three fine liners that I tend to ricochet between, and I think Pitt artist pens are pulling into the lead in the horse race of my fine liner gambling. It's been a long day, you guys. I will be using a cutting implement and a mat to make my fancy, fancy Dutch door. I'm not going to be using a stamp this month. I'm going to actually be doing something a little bit different with my habit trackers this month. Well, not super different. It's going to be similar to last month, but the habits are going to be different. May's going to be a very intense month for a lot of reasons. I am not going to stress myself out with stamping, and I am not going to stress myself out with cleaning as much. Well, sort of. Anyway, you'll see more as we move on. One of the things that I have been doing with my patrons over the last couple of months is giving them the opportunity to choose what my theme, and by theme it's basically what illustration I'm going to be using in my bullet journal each month, both illustration and color theme. I've been doing this since the March bullet journal setup, so this is the third month. In March, one of my suggestions was a weeping willow, and I love the doodle of it, and I love it, but it lost to, what did I do in March? Daffodils. Then it lost, I ran it again with the three choices. In April, it lost to ranunculus. And this time I ran it and was like, if it doesn't fucking win, I'm gonna use it somewhere because I really love it. But I think I wasn't the only one who was waiting for it because it won finally. So weeping willow this month, hell yeah. The color palette is basically greens with a little bit of brown. I'm using Pitt artist pens and Tombow dual brush pens for the color palette. If you would like to know specific numbers, they will be listed in the description down below. Now for the basic weeping willow, I'll probably be throwing some tree trunks in here and there, but the actual like basis of the doodle is really easy. I'm just drawing long lines, and then you're adding the leaves, which are like upside down teardrops, but really elongated. You can make them bigger towards the tops of your viney squiggly lines and smaller towards the bottom. You just want to have it taper into a smaller tip as you go down. Yeah, boy. I'm excited to use these both as decorations and for a potential tracker in this setup, so hell yeah. I'm just excited it won. It's like, fuck yeah, weeping willow. I was gonna draw it on somebody's face if I didn't get an opportunity too soon. Now that we've talked about supplies, let's jump right into the setup. I'm going to continue with putting a quote on this front page, and in my hopes to find one that's funny and also, relevant to my life right now with the trying to get the house on sale and in contract and all things. We're still in the middle of all of this bullshit, and it is just every day there's something new to stress us out. And so I was looking for a quote that would kind of feel appropriate. And one I found was from an author who I really enjoy. It's Douglas Adams. He wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I could put Don't Forget to Bring a Towel, or Do You Know Where Your Towel Is, or Don't Panic, which is what's on the cover of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But instead, I found the quote from him: "I love deadlines. I like the whooshing sound they make as they fly by." And so I'm going to put that here. And what I think I want to do, I have an idea. Do my ideas always work? No. I want my doodles this month to be very simple and very graphic. Last month I had, I'm still in the middle of last month. I don't even know what I'm fucking talking about. But last month I did a simple setup, but the doodles were had a lot more lines and shit. And so this month I want to do a simple setup, but very graphic. I don't have a lot of vocabulary today, you guys. I'm filming this on a day I didn't expect to film this because we had a mix up with our contractor, and I'm just bear with me. I'm a hot fucking mess. I seriously think I have a pen that doesn't work. This should be fucking new. Or new-ish. Jesus. What the hell's the problem, man? I can't even remember what numbers I'm counting, you guys. This is... And then the one time the pen does work, it's working when I am not... I don't want it to work. Hot Mess Express. Hot mess. Okay. So I'm just going to go with this because at this point, I don't fucking know. It's going to be a very vertical quote. So instead of drawing the line first, because one of the things, when I draw it the way I did it here, and you draw them off of the line, it makes it very symmetrical looking. But if you mark, oh hi Mark, where the line is going to go first, you can have petals kind of on the front of it as well. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to do that every time. Doing the line first makes it a lot faster. However, in this particular case, I've already spent so much damn time on it, I might as well spend a little bit more. I don't know if it looks like Weeping Willow as much as it looks like tropical, but I'm going to go with it. The quote, I sort of half-assed my way through it to make it fit, and it's fine. Not my best work, not my worst work. When I colored them in, I decided I wanted to sprinkle all the different greens. I think I have 5 different greens this month and then a brown. And so I put those all through. And then my original plan was to go around the entire outside of each one to give it that really bold look. But what I realized was there isn't really a super condensed version here. And so instead, I sort of went around it and gave it kind of a sketchy look. And especially since I didn't really pay attention to the lines when I was coloring them in. It almost has the look of some children's books I've read when I was younger, and I'm totally down for that. So I like this aesthetic. I have an ambitious thought for my Dutch door. You never in the million years, if you've been following me for a million years, I put in, I marked my usual number of squares in here, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't want to draw a tree in the center. I don't want to draw the full trunk. Let's just be real here. I don't like drawing full trunks of trees. They always look awkward. I like painting them. I hate drawing them for some reason. What I kind of want to do, and I'm sort of coming up with this on the fly, is I want to draw a tree trunk here and then bring the weeping willows here. And my original idea was to put the month in the tree trunk like May, but that means the cutout's going to be here rather than straight up and down. So my to-do list will have to live up here. And so maybe instead of putting the name of the month in here, I could put the name of the month here. I'm thinking, I've got some ideas. So I should probably pencil this in, but I'm going to freeball it. I'm having a thought. What if I just draw the trunkiness here, and then on this page, I draw the weeping willow branches going down and the month, and I just say fuck it and don't put a to-do list this month and just have a fucking decorative ass decorativeness. Feels kind of useless, but I'm almost willing to have more pages of fucking uselessness because I want to get through this journal so I can try using the new Scribbles That Matter 100 GSM paper journal. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I think this is going to be cool. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is draw a bunch of lines to represent the tree. When you draw lines like this, you can let your hand come up a little bit, let them break. You know what I'm saying? Just gives it a less of a continual look. So, I don't have the words, you guys. I'm just trying to talk myself through what I'm thinking is going to be a really strange idea that I'm not very sure about. So what I think maybe I'll do is to kind of suggest that there's other branches on this tree. I will take before I cut this, because I'm gonna have to cut this pretty precisely, so I'll do it after I cut it. But what I'm gonna do is some non-colored in situations. And I'll take the brown that's like part of my color palette for this month and just, I'm not gonna color the whole thing in. I'm just gonna add some brown, some lines the way I drew the branches. Just some basic lines. Very sketchy. I'm gonna cut it first and then I'm gonna add the stuff underneath because I do not feel professional enough. And I got this pad out like it was my cutting pad. This is not. So you're gonna see this because I already filmed it and I'm not gonna refilm it. But this is not a cutting pad. This is a stamping pad. That would be bad news if I cut on top of this. This is a cutting pad. Like I said, hot mess. I'm gonna cut along this because what I want, Do I suck at this? I think I suck at this. Where's that? Did I want to put the Ride of the Valkyries music again, the Wagner? Well, that was completely not where I wanted to cut, but we'll work on it. I'm going to grab my other knife. Maybe this knife is just not the business for me. You guys, like I said, I'm a hot fucking mess. I feel like even in my professional life, even in my artistic life, the hot mess that is my life right now is just coming out. It's coming out in droves, man. It's coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know that this really is a stressful part of my day. Well, actually, let me rephrase. This is a lot more control. I think maybe that other knife was just not my friend. I don't even know where I got that. I don't know where I got any of these things, you guys. I lose track. That's a lot of that page cut out. This, again, feels kind of useless, but whatever. So what I want to do here is cut it closer to the line, or maybe over the line I drew. That's cool. It's not like I'm trying to be precise. Okay. Good enough, right? Okay, so we got that. I'll save that because that big piece feels like one that would come in real handy if I fuck up on something. So this is going to be a to-do list page, but I think we are going to just say goodbye to what that might have meant. And then I think what I'll do for that graphic look is I'm going to take that same paper and just slide it right back underneath again to protect the page underneath. But what I'm going to do is grab, I think I pulled out a brush marker, question mark? No, that's not a brush marker. This is a brush marker. And I think I'm going to run the brush marker to give it that kind of bold look. But what I'll do is I'll make it kind of like uneven. See what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be perfect. And it'll be a little scraggly. That way, it still continues that like cartoony. Ah! Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, well, we'll make this better. We'll make it better. Oh, so much hot mess. Okay. So we got that scraggliness. And then I'm just going to take this and kind of, you know, like, again, I'm letting my hand kind of quiver. I'm not pressing down super perfectly to give it that, like, same look that I gave it on the previous page. Whoops. Drawing right through my situations here. It's okay. It's okay, Cindy. It's okay. You're not going to have to start this video over again. Don't worry about it. Okay, so there's that. Now there's that. So let's cover that up with some handy dandy whiteout because that does not belong there. Because we're going to draw on top of it, but you just got to cover it up. I'm going to write in serif bubble letters because I am a masochist. Okay, remember how I said I didn't think this was going to be very complicated? Well, it's not complicated, but it's a lot of repetition, and now my poor hand is like, fuck you, dolphin. But I'm liking how it's looking. It's not the most functional thing in the world, but it's looking pretty cool. So I'm going to add the green to this, and then I'll decide how I want to color in this and if I want to add color to those guys. So I decided I would add a little color here and do a drop shadow, two-tone drop shadow. Not what I was expecting it to look like, and I don't have a to-do list here for May, but you know what? It's nifty, and I like it. And you hardly notice the whiteout. And it didn't bleed through too badly. So let's get the calendar drawn in. I already have an idea for what I wanted to do here. I've seen some people, like multiple people, do calendars and things where they have like lines down the side and then they do plants or whatever here, or vice versa. So what I was thinking about doing was doing the calendar with 2 lines and then having willows start here and then come down on the bottom and having it just be super graphic like that. And I'm going to also have my habit trackers here on the sides, and I'm going to be doing something different with my habit trackers this month. Instead of my cleaning plan, I am swapping it over to things to help me keep, my brain from exploding this month. So stuff that's meant for mostly my mental well-being, because I kind of need to focus on it this month, and I will do the dishes every day, and I don't even give a shit about the rest of the cleaning. I have this Ojai marked out. It's a 6-row month because I do a Monday start, which gives you 1 day at the end of May. So that's just exciting. The other thing I really wanted to do was center the calendar. I'm going to split up, I believe it's Thursday, since I have a Monday start, in half. And that might look a little weird, but I don't rely super heavily on this calendar, so I'm not too worried about it. And if you want to know what the measurements were for this calendar, each day is 6 across and 5 high, because that's what worked out with my Baron Fig with a 2 high column for writing down the name of the day of the week. Shit, I don't need that one. I went too far. I went too far. I feel like it needs something here and here, and I don't know what yet. So I'm going to think about that. While I do, I'm going to draw in the habit trackers. So I decided to add 6 habits that are habits that I'm doing just for my own well-being. Waking up at 6 every day. Packing something every day, painting something every day, reading every day. And I may not do these things every day. Reading, like painting might be the one I not do every day, but most days. And then I have walking AM and walking PM because I've been going for a short walk in the morning and a longer walk in the afternoon. And so those are the things I wanted to put on here. So that is kind of how I am setting my calendar up. It's not exactly the fanciest way to fill this up, but it's one way to do it. I decided to add color. I like how this looks. It's different. This is very different, but it still has a lot of white space and some pencil marks. And I'm liking kind of how it's like loose but simple, and anybody can draw this. Like my leaves don't look like leaves. I mean, they look like leaves, but they don't look like leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like they're the shapes are varying wildly the more my tendinitis kicks in. But I'm liking how it looks. I'm liking the simple habit trackers. I think this will be really good. I'm going to put my videos in here later, but I do want to put in, if I can figure it out, I don't think I can figure it out. I may put in here at some point my plant watering for my ferns, Roldy and Kumar, because I want to make sure they stay alive. All right, steps tracker. I really am enjoying the steps tracker in May. I still need to catch it up for a few days, but you can see how it's getting filled in. I want to do the same thing. I'm going to put on 31 leaves to fill in for my steps. So I kind of overshot my wad and made one of my things too long. So I'm trying to incorporate the word steps into it. And I think I did it okay. And then I just need to make my key. I'm going to do it right up in here, probably. I know this looks like a hot mess right now, but I feel like it'll look a lot nicer once I fill it in. And there is my steps tracker. And I was thinking about giving this to my patrons as a download, but it's kind of janky. But I actually think I may give them my quote page because I'm liking it more and more that I look at it. Now, this page is actually going to be a redux of a similar page I did in April, just dividing it in half and doing half of it for my trip. We have to reschedule our trip because of timing issues. The other half I want to utilize to give me some recipe ideas for food we need to use up. I'll have a vlog of me organizing my pantry and going through and making a list of everything that we have to eat up before we move. So there is that. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is divide the page in half and do a vine on one side and a vine on the other side. Actually, this is so bold on this side. I'm not even going to draw leaves on this side, I don't think. And I miscounted again. It's okay. There is whiteout everywhere. Very simple. Simple and fabulous. And actually, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll take this other green and just, nope, I'm not gonna. Cindy, don't touch it. Don't. All right, some little leaves on the ends there because I just can't help myself. Now, this last page is going to just get set up with a border. And the reason being is that I am bringing the doodles back. The doodles and the lettering. So this last month, I wound up with my patrons spending an entire, like one of our live streams together. We do lives almost every week. And I talked a lot about my Patreon, I think, in this particular situation, but you know what? It's just one of the things I do. In that live stream, I lettered the entire April lettering challenge. And so this month, I wanted to have a spot for lettering and for doodling, whether I do them all in one page or if I sort of intermix. But I'm going to do that this month. If you need the challenges, I have them on Instagram at Llama Letters or on my website, cindyguentert-baldo.com. The lettering challenge this month is another playlist from Spotify. It's my barf dancing jams. If you've ever seen Spaceballs, when you meet Barf, the John Candy character in the beginning, he is dancing with his bucket of like chicken or whatever to Bon Jovi, and it's fucking rad. And so I have all these songs I dance to very similarly to that. And that Spotify playlist I'll leave in the description as well. And then the doodling challenge is a redux of a May challenge a few years ago. It's flowers, because I fucking love flowers. And so I didn't do any flowers in my setup, so it felt like a great idea to do flowers in here. Perfect. Very simple, which is good because my thumb is about to fall off. I feel like this setup is extremely loosey-goosey and all over the place, but that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. So my quote page and my front page, and you're probably saying, Cindy, what about your to-do list? I will make a to-do list wherever I make a to-do list. I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know. And then my calendar with my habits. And then my steps tracker, which I will fill in each leaf based on the steps each day. And then my food to use up, trip info, again, and then space for lettering and doodling. And I will catch you all up on this. You can see my weekly plan with me is every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, unless I'm moving. So Just stay tuned. Subscribe. You'll get the notification, hopefully. And I post about them on the community tab each week as well. And then I'm getting close to the end. I think July is going to be when I'm going to need to do a flip. And so, like, into a new notebook, which is probably going to be the Scribbles That Matter notebook because it's my new favorite thing in the world. When I do, I will do a full flip through of this whole bullet journal. Part of the reason I haven't been doing it lately is just because I'm having to film a little bit earlier than usual, so there's not as much there. And partly because there's just stuff that's going on that I can't show you yet. Like, there's personal info about the move and everything else that I can show you after the fact. And so I'll just do that coming up. So again, make sure to subscribe for that. Because I need you to. Because of the wonderful things that she does. And if you are interested at all in any of the things I've talked about, my Patreon, whatever, look for them in the description below. Like I said, my patrons, the day this video goes live, will be getting a bonus download of this quote page. Because, yay? Question mark? And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, something that you are looking forward to in May so I can read it and be like, sweet, somebody's got something going on, because right now everything I've got going on is stress. Thank you so much for watching and putting up with me today. I know I've been in a particular mood, but that's just the way it is right now. That's just the way it is. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I just said that. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, my friends, peace out. Bye.